Hi, it's me, Ro, author of Speaking from Spirit. Happy New Year. And here is your January 2022 energy alert. So we start January immediately with the new moon on January 2nd in Capricorn. And new moons are always a good time to plant seeds of intention. So in the next couple of days, write out, speak out, say clearly what you intend not only for the new year, but for your life in general, and maybe even also your good intentions for this world. It's a 6 global year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. And a 6 in numerology is all about love. It's about relationships. It is about home. It's about family. It's about the responsibilities we have to all of our love relationships and our family and our home. And it's a time to really come into what is important to us and to shore up or strengthen up our relationships, or to even find a relationship. Ones made this year, especially romantic ones, are going to probably be the real deal. January is a 7 global month in the 6 global year, and the 7 really resonates with patience and soul awareness and soul guidance. It is a number that brings us to our spirit. And so you might find yourself being a little bit more reflective this month, pondering more about the past, wanting to be still and quiet and pulled in a bit. And of course, raging pandemic will absolutely make that possible for you, sometimes even more so than we want, as in isolating. It's a time to be reflective and to question things and to reevaluate our life choices. Now, in addition to that 7 energy of January, we also have Venus retrograde, which started in December. And we also have Mercury going retrograde January 14th. So these retrogrades are always like pause times and make us reflect and reevaluate and upgrade and look back on things. So Venus is about love, right? And we're in a love kind of year. A 6 is a love kind of year, a relationship kind of year. We're in a Mercury, which is about communication and about how we speak our truth, how we come to our truth. And so these things are going to be up for review. And we're going to find ourselves asking, because that 7 is going to make us very philosophical and analytical and highly intuitive, highly intuitive. So sometimes that intuition tells us stuff we don't want to hear, but that's important because we won't even be able to block what we don't want to hear out. But our intuition always speaks truth to us. But it's also going to make us question things like, is what I'm doing worth it? Is this worth my time or my energy or my effort or my resources, my money, right? Resources is money. Am I worth it? Why do I allow things to go the way they do? What in me do I have to upgrade in my self-worth? A big theme this year is going to be about self-love. And not self-love as in I go for a manicure and a massage once a month. Self-love as in I really accept myself and I come to peace with all of me, and I embrace and shine my best self forward. And I embrace the parts of me that maybe aren't so great. And that's going to be a very big theme this year. And when we do that, we value ourselves more. And then that needs to be reflected in our relationships. So this month, we're going to see how our relationships value us. And if that's up to our standard now, if that's okay, we're going to evaluate where we spend our time and our energy and our resources. That's a very Venus thing. Money is a very Venus thing. Is this worth it for me? Do I still value this? Do I still want this? Is this still a priority? And we are definitely reprioritizing ourselves or our needs after this past 2 years of COVID. It's really made us kind of reevaluate our peace of mind, our peace in our physical health, obviously, our peace in our emotions, and what's worth it, or what's the cost we pay when we're not in those. Now, it could be uncomfortable, not gonna lie. It could be an uncomfortable month for some, but it'll be worth it because it leads to big changes, and it leads to more of all that the soul likes to bring, which is ease and peace and joy and harmony and love and abundance and all those things. Again, strong emphasis on relationships. Definitely the theme of the year is that, but also because that Venus retrograde. And definitely there's a possibility of revisiting relationships from the past. Now, this could be because we have some unhealed pieces with it. This could be because we need to see it from a different view, like a view of now, from where we have grown into. And so looking back and seeing it maybe with a different point of view, understanding things different. It could be because we left a piece of ourself back in that relationship that we have to retrieve, as in a soul retrieval. It could also mean we're revisiting it because it's not done. Simply not done. There's something more to go over. There's something more to experience there. Definitely, if we're revisiting an old relationship, whether it's virtually in our mind and our emotions, or physically, as in we reconnect with somebody from our past, we we want to understand that there's a purpose for this, and that there's something needing to be finished or healed or completed. And for some, it might mean that we're going to rekindle. And if that's the case, that's great. And no, it's a destiny or a timing thing. But how do you know, right? How do you know? You don't. So what you have to do is really go intuitive. And again, that seven's going to add that whole pull it in and be intuitive piece. And you can ask your angels for guidance, and you can pull cards, your angel cards on this. And you could ask for information in your dreams, as in, what do I need to know? And definitely ask your angels to get you out of your way so that you're not seeing this through a faulty misperception or just what you want to see, or not through some hardened emotion of, like, say, anger or wound of any kind. So ask your angels, kind of get me out of my way so I could see this clearly and get what I need to understand from this and move on, or heal it, or whatever needs to be done. And then, of course, always release attachment to the outcome. Let it be what it's going to be. It's a good month to ask for guidance from the love goddesses. So Aphrodite comes to mind, definitely Venus. She is all about love. Guinevere, as in King Arthur's Guinevere, she knows about, difficult triangle kind of love relationships. And believe it or not, Krishna, he was pretty adept at helping with love relationships. So, and Kuan Yin, because she's always about the compassion of the heart. Ask for their help, and definitely use your dream state to get information. So again, the theme of this year, love in all its forms, but definitely love for self being a very primary theme all through this year. And the love for others, and how we keep our balance, how we don't lose ourselves to our love for others or our responsibility to our relationships. So we're going to talk more about all of this on Super Soul Saturday, which is January 8th. We're going to do it virtual, so everybody can join if they want. It's 11 to 3. And if you're interested in that, go to my website, www.rosemarierubinetti-capiello, and you can register for that class right there. This is, because it's a 7-month, a great month to start a meditation practice, or to walk a labyrinth if you have access to that, to really stay in silence and stillness. So disconnecting from social media, staying away, staying in silence, not having background noise on, if that's possible. Being near water, great, because those ions in that water really increase our psychic connection and our intuitive abilities. Call on your angels and guides, do your prayers, whatever prayers that are. And again, gratitude and thankfulness for life is always a very high vibratory practice. And waking up and maybe writing 5 things, or before you go to bed at night, writing 5 things of gratitude. These are all very good spiritual practices to either start or to continue or to strengthen in this month of January, a 7 month in numerology. So let's pull some cards. I'm going to pull from the first deck, Wisdom of the Oracle cards, and we're going to ask, what is the message for us, all of us that are watching this, or going to watch this at some point, for 2022. So not just for January, let's ask for 2022. So, Oracle, what do you want to tell us? These cards are by Colette Baron Reed. Okay. Peace. Oh, Lord, do we need that? This is the theme for 2022. Just a reminder. That was the question. Gandhi, are you here? Let's get that going. Freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. It doesn't get any better than this: a quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. When two people are in true alignment with one another, they have an alignment with innate harmony between them. They are as two perfectly tuned instruments playing together. This is one of those times when you're capable of clear vision about your work and how you create your prosperity. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're called by a presence to step into your power. Just being is enough, for you are in a peaceful harmony with spirit, and it shows in your work. Now is the time for calmness and well-being in spite of temporary conditions. Even if there are dissonant notes in the music of your life, all this means is that you must go within and fine-tune the extraordinary instrument that you are. So, truly our peace comes from accepting what is and not resisting. Now, in the written blog that I wrote, I went into this in much more detail than I did in this vlog. I take the highlights of my written blog and put it in this vlog, but that's exactly what I wrote. This is all about acceptance, not resistance, not pushing against, not fighting against, not wishing it away, not rebelling against. Acceptance. I accept what is. Remember this, especially this month with relationships. I accept what is. So we often try and change people in our relationships, or we often try and change ourselves. Accept what is. This doesn't mean that we condone, say, crazy behavior, but what it means is, I'm not going to fight against this. It is what it is. I accept it. And in that, everything opens up for change. In that, you can decide, can I live with this or can't I? You empower yourselves instead of wasting tons of energy trying to fight against something. We've been doing that now for 2 years with this pandemic. It's not helping. This pandemic was here to teach us cooperation, and what affects one affects all of us. We haven't gotten that. We're so myopic, not just the United States, the whole world, it seems, about what we want, that we forget that we need to cooperate with what is and to accept what is. That's the way to our peace. This card reminds us that that's going to be a theme this year. All right, we're going to ask the Angel Guide Oracle card about this month. So, Angel Guide, by Kyle Gray. What's your message for who's ever watching this for this month, January 2022? What's your message? Listen deeply. Well, that will go a long way in relationships, that's for sure. Angels are sending you guidance and inspiration through your powerful and resonant inner voice. Be ready to listen to that voice now. Listen to yourself. If you aren't able to hear yourself, you'll be blocking your connection to the information, insight, and guidance that can support you going forward. If you've been ignoring or avoiding dealing with something you feel that you've had for a long time, your angels are encouraging you to stop. Listen to yourself and do it now. Your expansion and growth depend on it. If you have received challenging information recently about your life from any source and you are unsure whether to believe it or not, this card assures you that it is pivotal to the unfolding of your freedom and joy, so listen deeply. Again, it's a 7-month. 7 brings us to our spirit. It brings us to our intuition. And when we get still and quiet, we can hear that. So if you're not sure, right, your head's ping-ponging back and forth, one of the ways to get clear is to close your eyes and put your hand on your heart and speak out loud what you know in that moment. So it might be, I know that I need to rest more. I know that I need to do this more. When you close your eyes, you go into subjective brain. Your intuitive voice becomes louder over your thinking mind. When you put your hand on your heart, you invoke your heart of knowing. Not just your physical heart, not just your emotional heart, but your heart of knowing. And you'll hear your intuition. Trust what comes out next. If it's not completely clear as you say it, you'll get clearer with it. But eyes closed, hand on the heart is one of the ways that you can access your intuitive guidance in the easiest way that I know. All right, so in order to read that blog I was talking about, that's only available to my subscribers. So my online spiritual community group, we meet once a month. We have special classes. In order to become a subscriber, you can go to my website, www.speakingfromspirit.com. Also, if you're an online spiritual community subscriber, you're automatically enrolled in Super Soul Saturday next week. Next week. And also on my website, you can see all the free library events I have coming up. I have about 20 so far scheduled this year. But online spiritual community members, you have great perks, you have extra perks, you get the written blog, you get the vlog earlier than everybody else, and a whole bunch of other great benefits. And we meet once a month with a great community. So you could, again, go to my website. It's all on there. And anything else that you need to know is in that website too. You could reach out to me from there as well. So that's kind of it. Definitely it is a month to hold your peace and to come into acceptance of all that is. Certainly none of us want another round of COVID, but yet we are here. And so we could be pissed about it, or we could accept what is and open up to the possibilities and opportunities this brings us, whatever that may be. I know in acceptance, we find our peace, and when what we resist seems to persist. So maybe time to change that dance that we're doing. All right, so for right now, it's me, Ro, and I am wishing you peace.